Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great Saturday morning. This morning we have a very special guest, but first, let's get to the intro. This morning we have a very special guest, Ms. Beth Maddox.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm happy to be here this morning.
Thank you for being on. Can you do a little introduce yourself? Where are you from? Where are you right now? How long have you been in the insurance business?
Yeah, glad to. So, Beth Maddox. I'm actually in Franklin, Tennessee, just right outside of Nashville, and I've been in the insurance industry for a little over 10 years now, and been with one organization with Symmetry for going on 10 years later, towards the end of this year.
Cool. I have a couple questions for you.
All right.
What are your favorite things about being in the business?
Gosh, let's see here. It's probably first and foremost really the people on both sides, whether it's working with clients, working with people in the business and on our team specifically, just to be able to serve a family who has a problem and we get to go in and provide a solution in some way is that's really just a great feeling and a great opportunity that we get to do that. But getting to work with people that you just enjoy doing life with, which is what ends up happening. You come in, you work with people for a while, and then you just start being friends that feel more like family. And that just tends to be really part of the blessing of the work that we get to do. It just becomes a really good time.
Thank you for sharing that. What is something you have learned about yourself while being in the insurance business?
I've learned a lot about myself. I feel like this industry and this business is like a mirror. Like it just holds up a reflection of everything that we are and everything that maybe needs a little bit of work or adjustment, and just shows it right back to us. And we get the choice of whether or not we're going to dig in and do the work necessary to grow. And I've learned, a long list of things, but probably one of the strongest and most important things I learned is that I can do it, and it changes every day, whatever that it is. It can be a confrontation. It can be I can do X hard thing, whatever it is, I can do what that is, and I can conquer it and do the work necessary. And on the days that I maybe don't feel like I can or I forget it, association and who I'm with is so important, because I surround myself with people who help me remember that and help me get back into the fight and work harder and keep going. So that's probably one of the things I've learned, is that all of the things that come up, I get to get into the fray and push forward, and I can do it.
Thank you for sharing that. I hope everybody's taking notes. Is there anything specific that you learned that you've been able to use in your business to help you hire people?
Yeah, absolutely. I started hiring people probably pretty soon into my first year of being in the business. And initially, it was people that I knew. It was friends in a previous industry, and that was who I began partnering with. And then I started to hire people from like ads and that type of thing. And I had to learn, that was a whole different skill set that I had to learn. And how do you sift and sort and have that conversation that pulls out the right type of people who you want to partner with. And it's real easy to think that you can have this checklist of these are the characteristics and skills, then this person will be successful in this industry. Because at the end of the day, I don't know who's going to be successful. It could be someone that on paper doesn't make sense. On paper, I didn't make sense in this industry. I didn't have the skills. I didn't have any sales background. I didn't have a lot of the things that would look like someone who would find success in the insurance industry. And yet here I am. And so, the things that I'm looking for are more character traits than maybe a list on a resume. So I had to learn and figure that out, but I did learn. I learned I wanted someone who was humble enough to receive coaching, that realized that they didn't come in and had nothing to learn. So I was looking for that in a conversation. I'm looking for someone who's hungry, right? Ready to get after it and work hard. I'm looking for someone who's ready to be consistent. Is that something they've done in the past, or ready or willing to apply that here? And is there like this emotional quotient there? Is there somebody, are they completely self-centered, or are others in the equation at all in that dialogue? So those are just some characteristics that I started looking for in my interviews and who I'm talking to, because the skills learned here can absolutely be developed, but interior, characteristics are something that I'm looking for to partner with and move forward.
Thank you.
Beth, I'm over here smiling ear to ear, by the way. That was phenomenal. Ask her what her previous industry was.
What was your previous industry?
So I actually owned a retail business, and we did home decor and interiors, and I had that store for several years. And then I was introduced to this business by Sarah Pappas, who our kids, who are now 20 years old, which is hard to believe, started kindergarten together. And she had been in the business for just a little while and knew that I was a business owner. And we started talking at school events and that type of thing. And I ended up getting my license and coming in actually part-time for the first year plus, and then selling that business and coming in full-time.
I guess that's why your home decor looks so good.
Thanks.
Has anything embarrassing happened while you were on an appointment?
Yes, that would be a whole segment all by itself, the laundry list of embarrassing moments that I had running appointments. But I can remember it was the second appointment I'd ever run, and I had no clue what I was doing at all. At that point, everything was a paper app. And so I had this big bag that I would carry around, and I was working in 2 different states. So I had 2 state application kits with me, and I was just, the coaching was go make a friend, right? So I had no idea. I just, was bold enough. I booked the appointment, ran the appointment, got there, and I was going to call from the home. And so this sweet little man met me out at my car, and it was this we were out in the country, and it was kind of muddy, and there was all this stuff all over the ground. And he literally was telling me to watch where I stepped and not to step exactly where I stepped. And my foot went through this plank in the yard and all the way, and I bottomed out, went all the way down to my hip almost in this hole, this thing, and I'm holding this bag and dangling into this hole in the ground. Anyway, I wrote an app, probably out of pity, 100%, but that was less than stellar, grace walking into that appointment. Yeah.
What challenges has insurance presented?
Let's see here. Learning it, just learning the industry, learning products, learning how to have a conversation. I would say my biggest challenge, like I mentioned earlier, I had absolutely no background in sales. I had never been on the phone before. I had never just really none of the transferable skills I brought to the table. What I did bring was a decision that I was going to plant my flag. This made sense. And it was a business I wanted to develop with people that I wanted to be around. And so I brought just grit and stubbornness to the table, and I wasn't going to quit. So I persevered through all of the things that I had to learn, and the learning curve was pretty stiff. But I didn't have any sales skills. So I went in with the faulty thinking that I could basically go in and help these people by being their friend. And what I didn't add to the equation, because I wasn't wrong, I just didn't have the and with it. And I needed skills to help them make a decision, right? I didn't have the skill, so I had to develop the skill to help them make the decision so that they were better off for having known me, right? So what I did in the beginning was make a lot of friends who they liked me. I got invited to parties and events, and I left homes with gifts, but they weren't any better off, and they weren't protected at the end of my appointment with them. And so I had to stop what I was doing and actually learn sales skills and techniques to actually improve my ability to serve that family well, so that at the end of that, they knew me, they liked me, we were friends, and they were protected. So that was probably my biggest learning curve and learning opportunity that I did embrace and get better at.
Thank you. What's some tips that you could tell people about getting started in the business?
That it's a phenomenal industry, that you can really take it wherever you want to go. If you want to come in and make a little bit of additional income, you can do that. It's completely scalable to the point that that it's up to our effort. If you want to make a large income, you can come in and make a large income. It truly is, how much work are we willing to do to learn the skills, put in the time, be humble enough to learn how, when, have a mentor, have someone who's doing or done what you've wanted to do, and then follow the leader, right? Get out of the way and just duplicate a proven process. So I would first say that, and then I would recognize that who we are and where we are is exactly where we've gotten to, and we're not going to get where we're going without change, right? So to grow and develop ourselves, to leave and develop that space and that margin for ourselves to grow into, for our business to grow into, for our dreams to grow into, we have to cultivate that space. And you only do that by growing yourself. So really the importance of developing your mind, your capacity is paramount. So really I'm just a big proponent of working and developing on yourself, because it really is the name of the game. Because if we don't change the way we think, then we're not going to change the way we behave. And so changing our minds has to be first.
Um, uh, what challenges has insurance presented?
What challenges? A lot. Again, those that I mentioned in learning, obstacles that it presents, and such as learning the skills of being able to serve a client. It's also shown me how to work with people, right? Whether it's a client, whether it's a team member, someone else in the company. It's helped me learn that everybody's got a different voice, everybody's got a different personality, and my way of perceiving their communication or their methodology is important for me to know that it's my perception, maybe not reality. So really learning deep down that I get to communicate with people and work with people, and what they want is what is most important. My job is to go to work for the people that I work with that are on my team and help them fight for not only their highest good, but their dreams and what they want. If they want to make $500 this month, then I'm going to get in the ring and I'm going to help them do that. If they want to make 5,000 or 15,000 or whatever it is, then that's the fight that we enter into together. And us being in alignment and on that same page is so important. So I've learned to be a better communicator, and that's just really been a key skill that's always needing to be cultivated and improved.
Whenever we were at conference, I heard that you got an award.
I did. I did get an award. It was super special and an honor. I got the Relentless Award, which was honoring the pursuit of personal growth and development, which is near and dear to my heart. It's something that I have believed in and spent a lot of time in pursuing through the years. And I've partnered with people from corporate, outside of corporate, and I just really know in my heart that it is so important that we are always challenging ourselves to be a little better than we were yesterday, to know a little more, to have a little bit more space, to have the ability to be just our highest self, to fight for that highest self of ourselves, so that we have the capacity to fight for the highest good of those around us, and to be able to pour into those around us. Because if you're a leader, if we're leading other people, then number one, where are we going? We want to make it somewhere really good. It's somewhere that anyone behind us is going to be better and improved upon because they're following. And so that work is deep work, and it's said that the soft stuff is the hard stuff. So doing that hard work is really worth it, and this is an industry that requires us to grow and change so that we have the ability and capacity to impact, whether it's a client or a team member. And so I'm just a really big believer in it, and was super honored by the award.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
What are you most excited about for the rest of 2023?
Oh my goodness. I am so fired up for 2023. We have a lot of momentum and energy in our organization. What's most exciting is speaking with the different people in our team specifically, and hearing the enthusiasm and seeing their vision and their plans and their strategies for growing their business or themselves through the end of the year and beyond is life-giving. Like, that's why I do what I do. It's like why my feet hit the floor. Is it's so exciting and such a gift to be able to work with people who are life bringers, right? That's how I see it, is just being able to surround yourself with life bringers. And the company as a whole is really on a trajectory of just high energy. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of movement, and just catching that wave. And again, just there's so many people that are really moving in our team, in our agency, and it's just really it's just a joyful time. That sounds silly, but it is, just to pull the energy from everyone that I get to work with right now and have the conversations, even if it's a hard season, even if it's tough. I mean, everything's not always rainbows and unicorns. You hit obstacles, you hit things that you have to work through and navigate through different kinds of waters, but you still are in the ring with people that you just would never want to be in the ring with anybody else. These are the right people, the right time, the right place, and we're all pushing towards the same goal, and it's just a really good time.
That's awesome. I hope that that.
This is awesome.
That's awesome. And then a follow-up question: what are some goals that you want to accomplish, for like towards the end of the year?
So specifically for our organization, we're looking to hire more staff by the end of the year, and increase some volume in certain areas, whether it's on the recruiting side. We're looking to increase there and hire some more staff in that in that sector. We're looking to have more leaders. We've got more leaders on a certain trajectory. So by the end of the year, we're hoping to have a couple more agency owners in one leg of one part of the organization here in the base, and then a couple more agency owners throughout. So we're looking for some real awesome leadership development, and some other transferable escalations in the business is what we're looking for, and super excited about for that. And we've got some trips on the horizon. So there's trips coming on, all of the fun stuff. So we work hard and we play hard, and that's something that is a lot of fun.
Thank you for sharing all that. Do you have any questions for me?
I would love to know, like, what has been your funniest question that you've ever asked, or the funniest response that you've received? And what's been maybe what had you decide to start doing this on Saturday mornings? What drove you to do it?
Do the first one first while you think about the second. I mean, the second one first while you think about the first one. What would be a funniest response?
I don't know. We've had, since we've had so many people, it's hard to remember like all of them.
That's all right. I was just curious if anything particularly stood out that made you giggle. But you've interviewed a lot of super cool people.
There's been a couple funny ones. I just can't remember.
That's okay.
And then for number 2, it was really just getting up and doing it. I started the one interview with Cody, and that was my first ever one that I did. And then I did like a YouTube video after that with him. And then I went on to do 2 other ones. And then Dad went on the Ultimate Agent tour of, was it October of last year? No?
I don't know. Roughly, yeah.
And then he came back and he was like, hey, what about this? And like a month later, we started it up, and a year later, we're probably almost like 50.
Yeah, like 30 interviews.
There's about 25 on YouTube, and we probably have 40. It's been a while.
I love it. That's awesome. It's really cool.
I hope we hit that like the 1,000 hours of watching time, because we did have one that was like almost an hour and a half long. It was 2 episodes in a row. We went from one to the other.
Wow,
that's cool.
It was Cool. And then we've had some 5 minutes, we've had 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Just varies. It's been pretty crazy.
Ask her how people can get a hold of her if they want to be on her team.
How can people get a hold of you if they want to be on your team?
They can reach out. They can go to my website, which is maddoxinsurancegroup.com. Or they can reach out to me. That's probably the best way. It's got my phone number and everything on that website also.
And then, so that everybody doesn't forget, go to the link that I'm putting across the bottom. That is our merch site. You can buy Saturday morning cartoons, sweatshirts, t-shirts, coffee mugs. And then everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and don't forget to go down, subscribe, follow, hit the like button, comment, and then if you go over to Joe's page, the Insurance Syndicate, if you could subscribe to him, because he's helped a lot with this, and then Cody Askins.
There you go.
All right. Awesome. Thanks again, Sawyer, for having me on.
How do you do your outro?
You're welcome. All right, we're gonna do an outro. So I'm gonna say SMC out, and we're gonna do Nux to the camera.
All right.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. SMC out.
That's in there.